When I think about how the younger me might have thought about the older me hanging about in New York with other Englishmen, talking with awe and wonder about British factories in far-flung corners of our wondrous isle, I find that even I scarcely believe it. But as it goes, of the quite considerable number of great things we get to do on Savile Row, knocking about in essentially Victorian factories ranks pretty highly. Nick Sullivan, proper Esquire and arch Britophile, is a man who shares our passions, and one afternoon, 24 floors above Lexington Avenue, we hatched a plan to take a little drive around Blighty and film as we went.
The attention of the fashion media is going to be heading towards your neck of the woods. Every 10 or 15 years there seems to be a little upswing in Brit style.
Yeah.
Right now there are people who possibly wouldn't wear a tweed jacket that now will.
Yeah.
So for them it would be very interesting to see if they actually knew where it all
came from. The manufacturers that E.Tautz uses, they are the sort of factories and the sort of workshops that for the last 20 or 30 years have just stuck to what they've always done, and it seems like the world has kind of come back to their way of thinking. The great thing about the places that we use is they're all in little rural kind of outcrops. It's a journey that we make reasonably often, but normally in little bits. We talked about, filming filming as we go round, and I think if we were to do it, we'd probably be looking at a good week's worth of driving around the UK, but it would take us to some pretty interesting corners.
So you'll need a good vehicle.
Yeah. A good supply of boiled sweets.
And a bunch of people who can get along together.
Yeah. Good sense of humour, I suspect.
Excellent. Well, I can't wait to see it.
Good. We'll get on with it then.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was it. A whistle-stop tour of the UK, celebrating great makers of menswear. All that was required was a high-class motor car, a road atlas, and a bag of sustaining confections, and of course the raggle-taggle squad assembled for the singular purpose of recording the trip for posterity and pleading with ferrymen. Tuesday, August, 0600 hours, weather chilly and wet. We're going to take a little trip of about 2,000 miles and show people some of the great British manufacturing institutions, and hopefully along the way see some beautiful craftsmanship and some fabulous products. On board, in the back seat, Eleanor Warder, clipboard mistress, monitor of the petty cash and guardian of the pencils. Other back seat, Chris Floyd, lensman of some distinction, here to capture the best of British. In the front seat, documentarian Ian Denyer, handsome, debonair, invisible. Has he tampered with this script? I mean, Britain is about beautiful things well made by people with hundreds of years of passed down skill, and those things are expensive. There's probably combined experience of a couple of thousand years in the factories and the people that we're going to see. I mean, it's incredible. That's what makes the things we do special. China cannot catch up with us in terms of heritage in these products ever. So we left London under the cover of darkness sometime yesterday evening and made a pit stop at Staffordshire to admire the porcelain dogs. And the objective was to reach Langham by 11 o'clock. It's 10:50. And I think we've got about 3 miles to go. Such is the beauty of British engineering.
You have arrived at your destination.
There it is. So this is Reed and Taylor, which is the first point on our journey. Beautiful spot on the banks of the Esk. Reed and Taylor supply E.Tautz with the finest twist worsted, this marvellous mottled cloth with its infinite texture and variety. It's charming that we still have the beautiful old Reed and Taylor sign. This is the sort of understated kind of loveliness that I think makes the British mills and the British makers so charming. Reed and Taylor twist worsted is a pretty iconic cloth. I mean, I guess its heyday was
Well, it
50s,
was.
60s,
Yes, it
wasn't it?
was in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
The person that really put Reed and Taylor on the map globally was a guy called Robbie Scott. He was a cloth designer.
Yeah.
You know, in those days, Reed and Taylor had a very selective marketing policy. I mean,
Yeah.
they only made a certain number of pieces per week, per month,
Yeah.
and they divvied them up between the customers as they
Yeah.
saw fit. But how times have changed. Yeah.
Reed and Taylor employs a large staff of worsted makers. They all live locally. They've seen a lot of changes. I mean, how many people do you have here?
We are 30 people now.
Yeah.
They're all local. I mean, they've been here all their lives.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 18 karat gold. I mean, these are
Yeah.
people that know the business inside out.
Yeah.
Actually, that's something that's going to be an issue for me going forward, is how to replace some of these people.
No glass or stainless steel here. All the available cash goes into buying the best raw materials. Even the highest tech machines require a skilled operator to shepherd them. The workforce is treasured and loyal.
Reed & Taylor is a specialist in making high quality woven cloth. That high quality woven cloth is very labour intensive. An awful lot of knowledge goes into making that particular type of cloth, from silks to linens to fine gent suitings for Savile. When I started in 1964, in this town we employed 2,400 people in the various mills, which was 5 mills. Over the years it's demised completely, and now Reed & Taylors are the last cloth manufacturers left actually in Langham itself. Hopefully will exist for a long time.
We're just rolling into Hawick, famous rugby town, and the home of cashmere, the home of Scottish cashmere at least. We're heading to William Lockie's, which is a small family-owned mill dating back, I think, to about the 1860s. They've been making both for E.Tautz and for Norton & Sons for a few years now. My own firm, Norton & Sons, has been trading with Lockie for as long as the record books go back, and we're in good company.
An important feature is obviously the yarn that we buy,
Yeah,
because we always buy the best quality yarn that's available,
yeah.
whether it be the best quality cashmere or the best quality lambswool or the best quality camel hair. The mills used to be full of hand intarsia machines before the power machines and the sheamers came into operation, so the garments were all made by painstakingly knitting it back and forward.
Yeah. How long have you been here?
30 years.
Have you? And always in this bit of the mill? Or?
Yeah, been this
So that's a
30
few years' experience.
Yeah, right.
I've been in the hosiery trade over 40 years. This firm is very thriving now, going very well. The busiest mill I've ever seen in my life. You've got some lovely intarsiers, some lovely cashmere, and it's got what we call G-long for nice garments. But this is a family concern, so I think I'll keep going.
Our labels go into this. 30 gauge cashmere of the softest handle. So we've just finished up in Hawick at William Lockie's, and we're just going to head all the way now up through Selkirk, another great old mill town, up to Galashiels, through the other side, carrying on up to Edinburgh. So, 20 past 6, just left Hoyt and Gala. Certainly the cashmere side is absolutely thriving. Lockheed's a chock-a-block with great orders from great people. And, you know, Reed & Taylor, I think, continue to make some very special cloths in the way they've always made them, and that's really encouraging to see. And, you know, just encouraging to see everyone who works there really enjoying the work and passionate about what they do and passionate about continuing all these fantastic traditions. So day one, I think, ending on an extremely positive note.